Hello, everyone. Welcome to Keith Speaks. I'm Keith. Been gone for some time. If you're new here, this is simply about having real conversations, or at least sparking them. No spin, no rage bait. Just looking at what's actually being said and done in our society. Today, I'm going to be speaking on a new thing, and I got to tell you, I've been reading a lot. 920 pages of something called Project 2025, and I'm going to break it down for you as best I can because I think we all need to know what's actually in it. Um, when I was a child, and as I've grown through my decades, it's something that's time tested. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. This time they wrote it down. So let's talk about what they're saying. Project 2025. This is the cover of it. It's 920 page policy document published in April of 2023 by the Heritage Foundation. That's a conservative think tank that's been around since the 1970s. But it wasn't just them. Over 140 people who worked in the Trump administration helped write this, along with more than 100 other conservative organizations. The president of Heritage, Kevin Roberts, has said openly that his role is, and I'm quoting here, institutionalizing Trumpism. Now, during the campaign, President Trump said he didn't know anything about it, didn't know the people behind it. But here's the thing. At least 140 people who worked on this document also worked in his first administration. And now that he's won, several of the people who wrote this have been nominated into positions in his second administration. In fact, just 4 days into his second term, Time magazine analyzed his executive actions and found that nearly two-thirds of them mirror or partially mirror proposals from Project 2025. So whether he claims it or not, this document is showing up in policy. Now, Project 2025 isn't just a wish list. It's built on four pillars, four parts that work together. Pillar 1 is the policy book. That's the 920-page mandate for leadership every federal agency want to change, how to change it. That's what I'm reading through. Pillar 2 is the personnel database. They call it Conservative LinkedIn. It's a database of vetted, trained, loyal conservatives ready to be placed in governmental positions. They're not hiding it. They say the goal is to replace career civil servants with political loyalists. Pillar 3 is the Training Academy. They're training people ahead of time on how to use the gears of power effectively, how to implement these policies from day one. And Pillar 4, the Implementation Playbook. This tells the incoming administration what executive orders to sign on day one, what regulations to change, where to place political appointees. That's literally a how-to guide. This isn't theoretical. The Heritage Foundation spent $22 million preparing this. Why? Because as they say, after Trump's first term, he said he had terrible staff who didn't know how to execute his vision. This time they've come prepared. The phrase they keep using is personnel is policy. Who you put in these jobs is the policy. So what's actually in these 920 pages? Let me give you the headlines, and remember, I'm not making this up. I'm reading what they wrote. On labor, making it harder to organize unions, eliminating overtime protections for millions of workers, weakening child labor protections. On education, dismantling the Department of Education, eliminating Head Start, which serves 833,000 children in poverty, ending the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. Healthcare, removing or restricting abortion medication, enforcing a 19th century law called the Comstock Act to ban abortion materials through the mail, penalizing states that require abortion coverage and insurance. On government structure, replacing merit-based civil service workers with political loyalists, taking partisan control of the DOJ, FBI, and other agencies, massive expansion of presidential power. On the environment, major rollbacks of climate policy, restructuring the EPA. On social programs, cutting food assistance, imposing work requirements on SNAP. I could keep going. There are hundreds of specific proposals in here. Now look, you might think some of this sounds great. You might think some of it sounds terrible. That's not what this series is about. What I'm here to speak about is about knowing what they say they want to do. Here's why I'm doing this. One, they publish this. They want people to know what they're planning, but most people haven't read it because, let's be realistic. Who's reading 920 pages? Two, many of these proposals don't need Congress. They can be done through executive orders, agency rule changes, and presidential appointments. That's by design. Three, this isn't about Democrat versus Republican. This is about understanding what's being proposed for how our government operates and how our society functions and how our lives might change. And four, my elders were right. When someone tells you who they are, when they write down exactly what they plan to do, believe them. They're not hiding this. The question is, are we paying attention? So that's the overview. Over the next several weeks, I'm going to break down specific sections of Project 2025, labor policy, education, healthcare, the environment, government structure, all of it. Each episode, I'll show you what the document actually says, what page it's on, and what it would mean in practice. Whether you support these ideas or oppose them, at least you'll know what they are. Leave me your comments. Leave me your comments with me. Have you heard of Project 2025 before? What topic do you want me to cover first? Let's have a real conversation about this. And if you found this useful at all, share it with someone who hasn't heard about this yet. Subscribe if you want to follow the series. This is Keith Speaks, and I'll see you in the next one.